going on, chat room? We are here for episode number 10. We have Remedies and David. No Xandar. How are your weeks, Rem, David?
Doing good. Keeping busy.
Absolutely.
Toronto's
awesome.
back in the news. I'm happy.
Toronto's back in the news. Why?
I think we had some more Rob Ford fun.
Oh, yeah?
Plus Bieber's not from far away from here either, so
Oh my god.
we're like a scandal factory here in Ontario, Canada.
I heard it came out that him and Miley Cyrus are identical twins.
Oh, that explains quite a bit.
Have you seen those
No.
photos?
No.
This photos where they cut off half of his head and the other half of her head, and they put it together, and you can't really tell the difference between where it goes.
That's terrible. Why are we talking about Justin Bieber?
Dave did it. It's all his fault.
It is. It's mine.
The show has sunk to a new low.
Oh man, that's funny.
I'm just kidding. How are you, Adam? You
I'm
always
good.
ask us.
I am great. I have a weekend off, which doesn't happen too often in my line of work. So I have Saturday, Sunday off. Tomorrow I'll be hanging out with the wife and kid. And on Sunday I will be D&Ding it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, Evan.
Oh, you meant Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. What else would D&D
What else does
mean?
D&D mean? Do not
Not
disturb.
not driving intoxicated or anything. I thought you were pulling a Justin Bieber there.
And we're back.
Yep, there we go.
I think my trend every episode is to get caught up on one celebrity. Last week it was Sigourney Weaver.
That's
Oh,
your thing?
okay.
Yeah, this week it's Justin Bieber.
Yeah, the audio balance is pretty good. I've turned my mic up, got everything to be quiet so my condenser mic doesn't pick everything up, and I talk my normal volume rather than loud. I am saving up for a dynamic mic at some point.
That's what I'm using. And yes, I still sound like crap. No, I'm just kidding. I think I'm alright. The quality of my stuff, I think it's okay.
I think.
What does the chat
it's good.
room say? That's what I want to know. Wow, I look like crap on camera today. I apologize, everyone. Oh boy.
No,
You look great.
Could be worse. Could look
I
like
should-
David. I mean, no.
Aw.
I'll
But see,
take it.
David
That's
has like
fine.
the fluffy top hair thing going on, and that's cool. Like, I dig it. I can dig it.
I need,
Yeah. dig it.
Yeah, it's always been like that forever.
I'm in serious
Yeah.
need of a haircut.
Yours looks fine though, Adam. You've got kind of that, suave, almost Beatlesy look.
Yeah. Oh, I prefer well trimmed. You could look like me, Rem. I look horrid. Aren't you a Tauran? No.
Whoa, caps lock.
Tahi.
Typing fail. I failed tonight. Yes. I was running really late, so I didn't put my face on. That's what I call putting makeup on, because I'm a girl, guys. I don't know if you knew that, but
Wait, what?
So I didn't.
We
Yeah,
let-
I know,
We let a
right?
girl on the show?
Yeah.
It's like the crying game.
So I didn't put any makeup on. I obviously did not do my hair, so I apologize for my lackluster appearance tonight. I'm sorry. It won't happen next week. I promise.
You look great.
Thanks. I wasn't fishing for compliments, by the way. I'm being like for realsies, like for reals. Next week, I'll bring the good lookingness back.
The glamour shots.
I will bring the glamour back. There we go. That's a good. I am glamorous. Thank you very much.
Oh man, that's like a your what do you call it? A parody of Justin Bieber, not Justin Bieber.
No.
Justin Timberlake. You're bringing glamour
Oh my
back.
gosh, I should do that.
You'd be like,
Once upon a time I used to do parody songs.
yes, I do know.
The slightly little known secret. Yeah. I won't tell anyone where to find them, but they're on the internet.
If you want to know, follow me on Twitter, and I
No.
will point you in the direction.
Please don't do that.
We're gonna get her to do a parody song for Heroes of the Storm at some point.
Oh my god, we should totally. I almost did a parody with Belschnickel once, but I don't know what happened with that. It fell through, I guess. I don't know. He's too cool for me now. I'm kidding.
We got Chief Vol'jin. That's the first time.
Ooh,
For the
snap.
Horde.
Chief Vol'jin. I'm honored.
The Glitched Gaming. That's a new person. No Nags.
Welcome.
I'm kind of concerned when he doesn't show up.
Where's Nags?
He's probably working.
Yeah, maybe.
Or him and Stacks and Pax are the same person.
Kind of like, do you remember the fake Dunlock thing? Do you remember that?
Yes, I was on the round table with Dunlock and Fake Dunlock.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that was good stuff. Ah, good time.
Yes. Okay, so I think we are good to get this thing rolling.
Let's do it.
That's who we
I
need
mean,
as a hero.
not
We need
it, but-
Chief Vol'jin as a hero in this game.
Oh,
Yes.
he'll be there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they'll make Vol'jin. They're gonna make Sylvanas, right?
No, they
They don't have Varian yet.
No, Varian. There's a ton of heroes.
Because Varian is a pansy.
Hey, Varian's not so bad.
What class is he supposed to be, anyways? I've
Warrior.
never-
Warrior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dual wields giant weapons, right?
Right. You know who is Cho? What is Cho's last name? Wow.
Cho is his last name.
Yeah,
Lord
Lord
Master.
Lord Walker.
Laura Walker Cho. Thank you. Wow. I feel like a derp tonight. Is Cho going to be a hero? I think Cho should be a hero.
You
He's
know-
not confirmed, right?
No, he's not
Yeah.
confirmed. Chen is. Chen Storm's out.
Oh.
Kinda.
Well.
He's on all this stuff, and I assume.
Yeah.
But that you mentioned that, Lore Walker Cho could just.
What?
No, there's
What?
like a weird noise in my house. Like a lot of a horror movie. Anyways, Lore Walker Cho could
Nothing to
be.
be concerned about.
Don't worry about it.
Just a horror
carry
movie
on.
noise.
Oh my gosh.
No, my wife I think is watching Scary Movie 5, so. Lore Walker Cho could be a skin for Deckard Cain, because I could see the two of them having the same type of abilities.
No,
Well,
not if we
Boris
go
to
with
death?
my Deckard Cain. No, I disagree with you. No.
Here, I will be back in just a second. I'm going to go check out that noise, and then we'll start the show, I promise.
No. Where's the
I'll be
creepy
right
music? Okay.
If it was
When you
Scary Movie
creep-
5, that's a horrible movie noise, not a
Oh my
horror
gosh! If he had a hand cam, he should take it with him through his house and be like,
movie.
"What is
Like
going
Blair
on?"
Witch?
Yes. Oh my gosh, that would be freaking awesome.
The Blair Witch podcast.
Okay. I hope Adam takes all of this and makes a bloopers reel someday.
Yeah.
The stuff that goes on during pre and post show. Just blooper reel right there. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, post show was worth it last week for the whole Sigourney Wiener thing.
Yes, that was.
Yes. I did look that up afterwards.
Oh, really? What'd you find?
Yeah. Nothing I want to see ever again.
I bet. Oh my gosh. Oh goodness.
Yeah.
So okay, all right. I have a question for you, David.
Mhm.
What kind of car? Because like I said, I was telling you earlier, we're car shopping, right?
Yeah.
So I currently, the car that is a piece of crap for me right now is a miniature, like a smaller sized SUV is what I typically have been driving.
Like a RAV4 kind of small, or
A Kia Sportage. So.
Okay.
And then-
Sportage.
Sportage. That's right. We had that conversation. So, and my husband drives a 99.5. It actually exists. A 99.5 Volkswagen Golf. So it's kind of like the
Okay.
sportier, the hatchback.
Yep,
type
the Golf.
thing. Yes. So he has that, and he's always been a sports car kind of guy,
Mhm.
especially imports. Like he used to drive. I don't know. Anyways, tangent. So, and I'm more of like a SUV kind of person. And anyway, so we're looking at getting a new car. And he actually says that I should get a larger SUV. He's like, yeah, get a bigger SUV. And I'm like, no, let's just get a Ford Taurus or like a sedan type family car. So it's just your input. If you had
My
any kind
input.
of like sway on this debate between he and I, what would you recommend? A large SUV or a family type vehicle?
I'm gonna
Like a
give my
sedan.
I'm gonna give my recommendation purely in theory, since I'm a Subway person. But
Okay.
I mean, it's all weather dependent, right? Like if you get really bad snow and stuff like that, then the large SUV is worth it. Like I live in the city, so we're gonna be buying a car soon too, and I'm probably just gonna get like a little Taurus or something like that because
Right.
it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, this year's been a little weird, but generally our weather's pretty straightforward. Like the roads are plowed and everything like that. So I would probably get a sedan if you don't really worry about the weather. But I mean, if you are kind of in an area that gets like a lot of snow, then the SUV's worth it, just as an alternate to the Golf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Personally, my advice is always a '79 Corvette, but it's not very practical for most in your particular case.
Okay, sorry. The chat room has distracted me with the conversation about an actress that was murdered on the week. Reese Witherspoon?
Not
Is
Reese
that-
Witherspoon, right?
I haven't heard of that. I don't know. They said her first name was Reese. Reese something. It better not be
What,
Reese
in
Witherspoon.
Scary Movie or in the movie?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Wasn't it? Was it in Scream?
Is that what they're talking about? A movie? I don't know. I don't watch many movies, guys. I'm like my movie knowledge is really small movie knowledge.
Oh yeah.
Adam, is Reese Witherspoon in your house?
No, Reese Witherspoon is not in my house.
Did you murder Reese Witherspoon? Oh my god.
Not that I know.
That's
of.
against the Twitch terms of service.
Killing people while on stream is against the.
Yes.
Man, I was supposed to shut the stream down.
Man.
No, it was just my daughter. She woke up.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like staring at me now.
How old
like,
is she now? 6?
9 months.
Oh, 9
that's
months.
Scream
Holy
1.
crap. I am a bad friend. Wow. You should smack me. 9 months. That's such
You
a
wanna
fun
say hi?
age.
Hold on. She wants to say hi. She's staring at me.
Oh, snap. He's making her famous already. Let's go. She's going to be famous.
Performance and saying hi. Come on.
Hey, guys, we're getting baby time right now. Oh, snap. Except we can't see her until she shows up on the screen.
Oh yeah, you guys can't see me.
Yeah, we can't see
Yeah.
in.
Can't see you in Skype.
You'll see me in just a minute. She's like staring at me like, what are you doing?
Oh, I want to see her. I'm still waiting for the stream to catch up. Dang it. We need Jeopardy music. Do, 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 do.
Everyone I know's been having babies lately.
Oh, there she is, baby.
Aww.
Aww.
Ready? Okay.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
I'll give you back to mama, and then you can eat, and then you can go back to bed because it's way past your bedtime.
She's cute.
Oh,
Nature 80 carry.
I kind of miss my kids being that age, and then no, don't actually. She's cute though, Adam. Super cute.
Yes, and training her to play League of Legends, and I'm gonna get her out into StarCraft because she's gonna make me lots of money. Little fingers, quick twitch reflexes. That's all you need.
It's
There
true
you
though.
go.
My oldest son, he plays video games, and he's been playing since he was like 2 years old. Since we've like let him play video games, and little kid, 6 years old, can whoop my booty at some StarCraft, and I'm all right at it. I'm not terrible, but I'm not like the best. And my 6-year-old son, can just stomp me.
Yeah, that happens. So, let's go ahead and get this thing started.
All right.
We actually have a decent number of people in the chat room, which is awesome.
Hello,
I'm so excited. Let's go ahead and you guys have Audacity ready?
See?
I do. No, I don't. Don't judge me.
I don't judge. No judging here.
I thought I did, but I didn't. Okay. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, record.
Welcome to the Nexus, the podcast for the heroes of Blizzard Entertainment.
Welcome, heroes, to episode number 10 of the Nexus. I can't believe we actually have gotten this far in a game that hasn't even came out yet. So I'm your host, as always, Adam Eastwood, and I have two of my wonderful co-hosts with me, our Paladin by Day and Hearthstone Paladin by Night, Remedies.
Oh, that's me. What is up, everybody? How are you all doing tonight? Adam, how are you
pretty
doing?
Good. I am doing
David?
good.
Very well.
Oh, you just
Good.
broke it. He's not supposed to be here yet.
Aw.
I'll go away. I'll run out and come back. Here, go, Adam, go.
And our, I guess, famous, lore-loving, time-altering gamer David Troy is here as well.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Rem. Hi, Adam. Hi, chat room, and hi, everybody listening. I've had a fantastic week that we'll talk a little bit about, and just thrilled to be here and talking to everybody.
Oh yeah, it's a great time. We got some more news about Heroes of the Storm, which for us means we can have another episode and talk about current new stuff. Before we get into that, though, how are your guys' week in gaming, David?
Really, really good. My raid team has kind of got the first every boss on farm now in Siege of Orgrimmar up until Garage. We're just starting progression on Garage. On normal 25. So we're really, really pumped to start that, and hopefully should be able to move on to Heroics soon. In Hearthstone, I discovered that I'm actually really terrible at Hearthstone. I thought it was pretty good, but then the last week I went on this epic losing streak. But trying to adjust things and get back.
Yeah, I think we've all had those like epic losing streaks where we're doing really, really good, then all of a sudden you lose like 8 in a row, and you're like, maybe I need a break.
Yeah, I discovered the Rogue deck, which I hadn't played at all, and I really liked it, but I think I'm bad at it.
Yeah.
So maybe back to Shaman.
Getting some new cards will definitely help that out, I think, in the Rogue deck. Remedies, what have you been up to this week in games?
Gaming? What's gaming? No, I'm kidding. Let's see. I did not get banned from WoW, unlike many other people who got banned from WoW. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you live under a rock. I'm kidding. I
didn't know what you were talking about, to be honest.
Because you live under a rock. My point exactly. I'm just kidding. I played a lot of Hearthstone this week, actually. I played a little bit of League of Legends on, oh my gosh, Wednesday morning. Yeah, I was getting my ownage on in some league, and I didn't raid this week. Actually, on Wednesday night, I'm part of a military family. My husband is in the military, and they decided that the cool thing to do when your spouse is deploying is to have family briefings. Now, I used to be in the military myself, so I've attended many army briefings, and army briefings are not fun. And anyway, so we went to a family one on Tuesday night, so I didn't get to raid because the army said, come get briefed about stuff you already know. This is not my husband's first deployment, so it was kind of everything I've heard before. But anyways, I digress. Yes, lots of Hearthstone and lots of League for me this week.
For me, it was my usual raid nights. We're starting to get our 10-man groove back on. We one-shot the first 4 bosses in Siege, which is the first for us. So we're excited when we moved on to Galacross, which I found out we were doing it wrong, and that's why we didn't beat them. Which was kind of, at least now we know we're going to beat them next time. And
You have to go up the towers, Adam.
it wasn't the towers we missed. It was we didn't pull him far enough back when he comes down to have the ads attack him. So we lost all that DPS, and we got down to like 25%. And Agathon actually said to me, he's like, well, they're going to do about that much damage, so you should have brought him over. So, other than that, I've been playing a ton of League of Legends. Has been my focus. I really want to get to level 30. I finally found the role that I'm going to stick to. I've turned myself into an AD carry, which is interesting.
Nice.
Yep, I found 2 or 3 heroes that I like in that role, so I'll be continuing that. So when we play, Rem, you can support me, and I can kill things.
Yes, and we can conversate with each other. I hate doing randoms with people who don't listen. It drives me nuts, or not even not listen, but don't
acknowledge.
Yes, it drives me nuts. Because all I know how to play well or decently, because I wouldn't even say I'm that good, but all I know how to play in League of Legends is a support class. I am not very good at anything else. And yes, so being that support person with AD carries who are jerks, meanie butts, not fun. It's not fun.
Well, if you ever want someone to play with, we can play with you, Ram, and we'll not acknowledge you.
I know, it's true, actually, now that I think about it. I'm kidding. I've always had fun when all of us play together. Some mixture thereof of us. Yes, it's fun. All right.
Yes, and we're gonna get a little more of that going on. I think, especially once Heroes comes out, we'll have some fan games where we get the listeners and stuff to play with us too. That'll be fun.
Yes, that would be so much fun. I agree.
So, kind of with that, we're going to kind of go into the news, and for anyone who isn't living under a rock of Heroes of the Storm, know that there was an interesting Q&A this past week. I was very excited. Unfortunately, I didn't get to listen to it live, just because I was at work and we actually were a little busy. David, what did you think of the Q&A? Something you really want to point out that happened?
The thing that impressed me the most about the Q&A is that they only picked the best, most articulate, well-written questions to actually pose
God.
towards the developers. There were some very good ones. My personal favorite was the one involving specialist heroes, but it was actually. In case anybody didn't know, I was lucky enough to get one of mine chosen.
Too much right now.
So
I can't handle
I was actually lucky enough that they picked one of mine, and I was very happy about that. So that's my moment in the sun. Now I can slink back to obscurity.
What was the question you asked, and what did they answer?
Breaking news.
I asked
David's
basically.
question got played on the stream, guys. I don't know if you know this or not. Oh my god.
But basically what I asked was, how many specialist heroes can you feasibly have in a team? And they basically came out and said one or two. But they did actually say that they wanted to experiment and see if you could just, do certain combinations where you could, have all five. But they said really you probably wouldn't have the strength and the damage to have more than one or two. So
But I want to interject you here really quick because you made a really good point. But they were also talking about how some of the support classes are built in ways or can be built in such a way that you could play them in entirely non-support ways, right? So if you are very creative, you could have a team of entirely support characters. From what I gather, all characters that are labeled as support characters, and then just build one tanky, build one, range damage, melee damage, and Shazam, there you go. You have a team of all support, quote unquote support classes, but none of them are actually support. Like, I could see that. It could. Yeah,
they did mention, I think, who was it? One of the I can't remember which hero they were talking about. But one of them they said it's a support that they don't even really play as support anymore. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much just they play as damage. I don't think it was Uther. I think it was.
How dare you, sir? I think it was Uther.
Oh, I apologize.
That's probably right. It probably wasn't Uther, but my mind, how I am, that filter thing. So I just converted everything that they said into Uther, and it worked. It totally worked. So
I can see that happening, especially when they were talking about Abathur, and you're like, Uther. It says Uther at the end, so obviously they're talking about Uther.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. and like you said, David, I think it was Tassadar that everyone's playing him more of a DPS type role rather than a support role, which will be cool because that really shows some of the questions that we had was how dynamic and changing are these heroes? Are they stuck in a role, or do the talents really change enough, just like items would in League of Legends? Mm-hmm. So that kind of answers that question. Rem, is there anything in particular that really stuck in your head other than everybody talking about Uther the entire time?
I mean, Uther, more Uther. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure we're going to talk about it, but they started talking about a lot whether they'd be making more maps and the general map conversation. And I know that we're going to touch on that here in a second, so I'll save my opinions on that for when we get to it. But I thought it was a very good Q&A. Like the last one, I don't feel like anything like big was really dropped on us. And a lot of it still seemed kind of like not regurgitated information, but information we already knew or could kind of like piece together ourselves anyways from what they have released. It was good though. Watching the match at the end was really cool. So it was fun. It was good.
Yes, it was. And like you said with the maps, I know the big thing that kind of stuck in my head is that they feel as though right now they have enough battlegrounds to move into a beta environment, which makes me feel like that means they're really working on getting it out to beta, where they're like, okay, the maps are done for beta. Now let's make sure we have the heroes in a position where it's not going to be too buggy. Do you think that bodes well for a sooner beta release than we might have expected before?
I don't know. I still play like massive negatively viewpoint as far as when we're gonna get beta. Everybody, a lot of people, other fan sites and stuff always keep screaming that they think we're gonna get beta in the springtime, and I just don't think that that's gonna happen. I don't. I love Blizzard. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Blizzard fan, but I don't know how to word it. Like, I don't have that high of an expectation from them in that sense, because they have typically always taken a very long time to give us what we want. So I still think we're going to have a very late summer beta. Late summer. That's still going to be my estimation. I don't care what they say. Not changing.
Not changing it?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I would think too that we're probably looking. I think it's going to be around the summer. I think it could be early, could be late. I felt like it from their responses, beta felt farther than it felt for me before. Especially they're somewhat. I don't know how much they were nervous or not, but they felt a little nervous that the whole thing was going to crash during the live cast and things like that. And if they're worried about things like that, I don't think they're ready. They're that close to going to beta. I also think I would suspect there's going to be a lot more heroes introduced before we go to beta as well.
You think so?
Well, I mean, we're seeing Sergeant Hammer is being played a lot in the streams, so he'll be
who the heck is that guy?
I think he's just a name for the siege tank.
From
Yeah, it's just generic StarCraft.
Oh, from Stark.
Yeah,
Oh,
Terran,
okay, I remember.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
And
Wow.
they had Muradin as well, so that's two.
Yeah, I saw that. That's good.
So I think we're going to be seeing them pretty soon. They're going to start saying, hey, they're going to start naming off more heroes pretty soon, especially if they keep doing what they're doing now with the questions and the Q&As and all that. I think we're going to see an early summer beta. I'm going to be more hopeful than you. I'm hoping that Blizzard says, oh, it's Memorial Day weekend. You guys will have nothing to do, and it's Adam's birthday on Monday, which is Memorial Day. So let's give them Heroes of the Storm.
Wow. I don't know. Nah.
So that's my guess. Is my birthday weekend when I turn 30, they're going to give me the best present.
Holy
Other
crap,
than,
you're turning 30?
My wife. My wife will give me a much better present, but I mean in terms of gaming.
You're turning 30?
Yes.
You don't even look like you're 30. You look like you're 24.
Well, thank you. Thank you very
Only a
much.
6-year difference, but I don't know. Not that 30 is old. You just don't look like you're 30. Okay, anyways,
It's
awkward.
my soft skin. No. So what do you think, like they were talking about, how many maps are too many? Do you have an idea in your head, Rem, of what you think would be too
1
many?
million. 1 million maps is too many. I'm a one thing I love about like StarCraft, for example, granted I know it's not exactly the same type of game, but let's be real here, they're similar. StarCraft has like tons of maps, and they get new maps all the time, and then on top of that you have community made maps and game modes and etc. Arcade, right? Arcade is free to play now, guys, by the way. If you don't own StarCraft, you can get the collector's edition and go play in StarCraft Arcade. Super fun, totally recommend it. Moving on. So StarCraft is pretty big on having lots of different kinds of maps. Why can't we have that in a MOBA? I don't understand what the negativity about that is. I get it. In MOBAs, you kind of want everything to be, this is how you play, and we don't need a whole lot of flavor or whatever. That's fine, but I just don't like. I don't know. I can't wrap my head around why it has to be so set in stone. Like, I think that more maps would be great. More types of ways to play, which is one thing I love about Heroes. We have, like, all of these objective and stuff like that in maps, and I think that this is a freaking fantastic addition to the genre as a whole. So give me more maps. Give me more maps. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see more maps too. I guess what I think we've discussed this before. I'd like to see more simple maps with less interactivity, just to give that a little bit of a vanilla flavor, so that for things like esports, that there is a level playing ground, so that you're not having to be a specialist in one versus the other. The other thing too would be that there must be a lot of development going into these maps because of how interactive they are and all the bells and whistles that go into it. And my worry is that if we start really blowing up the amount of these maps, then we could be looking at beta in forever kind of thing. I don't want I'd rather see less maps and faster beta.
No, because no, because you remember, I think it was the panel of BlizzCon or the first Q&A, I can't remember, but they said how quickly they put together the map that they had for us at they said it took them like 4 days to make the map, make the mode, and no, I'm going to disagree with you. And they have told us that making maps is not that hard and doesn't take that long, so no. Now,
yeah, I think
make all
making
the
them
maps they want.
I think I think making them is probably pretty quick, but in terms of like making sure that they work and also balancing them, I think that's the trick, right? And that's what's really going to take a long time for them to work out.
Well, here's the thing with kind of the balance, is as long as both teams are trying to do the same thing, I feel like the maps are balanced. Because you have the same heroes that you can choose from, and as long as the distance between objectives is the same from both sides, I mean, that's kind of what brings a little, I think, boringness to the genre, is you have to have like maps that are symmetrical on each side in order to make it balanced.
Well, they don't necessarily have to be symmetrical, but yes, they do have to be equidistant. Like think of like World of Warcraft PvP battlegrounds and how skewed some of those are. The Silver Shard mines comes to mind because I know that the graveyard points are kind of ridiculous. So the Horde one kind of poops you out right there in the center of everything, and the Alliance have a slightly longer distance to go from the graveyard to where all of the carts come out. Anyways, I am just griping, but it's like that, right? It's like some of the PvP battlegrounds in World of Warcraft, where some of them do highly favor certain factions because of distance. It's all distance. But they don't have to be symmetrical. They just have to be equally, all spaced out properly and stuff.
And I think one thing, and kind of maybe it's the middle ground between the two of you, where David wants like the simple maps and Rem kind of just wants tons of maps. And I think really I want tons of maps for like unranked play, where you're just going in, having fun and playing. Where when it comes to the ladder, I think each season should have maybe 6 to 8 maps that can show up, just so you can prepare for it. And just like in StarCraft, they kind of do the same thing. You can ban 1 or 2 maps you don't like. And also in the competitive scene, each tournament kind of chooses the maps that they're going to allow, and then based on the tournament, they go do it that way. I think we're going to see a lot of that in terms of maps once especially with the user created. There's going to be so many maps available in a short period of time.
All the maps. Maps everywhere. Maps. I'm the map. Like Dora the Explorer. Okay, anyways.
Well, I think too with the maps, right? It's not just that they've got to be equidistant, and they've got to, it's also got to be the perception of it too. And that's why having them asymmetrical could be a challenge, because even if it, who is it? Like I think it's a quote from Julius Caesar about his wife. It's not so much that you have to be pure, but you have to be beyond suspicion, right? It's that you've got to, the perception itself has got to be, that everybody thinks it's equal. Like you can get away with the strand of the ancients in PvP because people just bug out of it. But in a game like this, even if there's a perception that a map is skewed, then the map's gonna get killed.
And everyone the people will be like, oh, I'm on this side of the map, I'm gonna leave game now because I'm gonna lose it. Yeah, and you don't want that.
Right.
I mean, you see that sometimes in StarCraft where certain maps will favor Protoss over Zerg, but it's so much fun to see like Zerg win those matches. I think it adds to almost like the excitement that you're like, oh, we expect the people here to win, but the other people can definitely put up a fight and do it. The one that I forget the name of the map, but I remember DRG and Marine King Prime. going against each other, and they were like, it was when DRG beat him in MLG, and he came back, and it was Game 7. It was the map that he was definitely going to lose, and he won it. It just made it so much better.
Yeah.
So a few other things that they kind of pointed out with the stealth mechanics and how they're going to be used. Like, you don't actually go fully invisible. You kind of have that shimmer around you. And I thought that was very interesting. So that way people could actually, counter you in terms of like AoE damage to break you out of that. Do you think that they should have gone for like a full invisibility, or do you like the stealth the way they are, Rem?
I don't like that at all. It kind of defeats the purpose of having a stealth mechanic. Why give me something that doesn't actually fully make me do what it says it's going to do? If I'm not going to be invisible to my enemies, then why call it stealth? Call it somewhat stealthy. I don't know, but call it something else. Don't call it stealth, because that's not stealth. I don't know. I don't like that.
Well,
yeah, I agree. I mean, what's the point, really? If they can see you, it's not stealth. Like, it's just an effect, and I don't see how that helps your character whatsoever. If they can see you, you're not stealth. Like, I agree. I think it's dumb.
Well, for the, to kind of play devil's advocate, they do call it stealth and non-visibility. Playing D&D a lot, you can stealth and some people can still see you. You're not like completely gone.
And that has to do with their like certain skill sets, right? I played D&D.
So, I mean, but it's also, I think it adds a little bit to it where, like, if you're in a team fight, I think Justin Broder pointed out, it's still really hard to be like, okay, I'm fighting this person, and then all of a sudden Zeratul pops up. I think invisibility is a little overpowered in League of Legends right now with like Evelyn and Teemo, so I think they might have seen that and been like, do we want to go down that road where we have to then find ways of detecting and put that into the game, or have a hero that
how you fix it is you make it either last very short or have a very, very long cooldown. That's how you balance it. You get your stealth, it's like 10 seconds of stealth, and then you can't use it again for another 2 minutes. Like, that seems fair to me. I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. So.
Yeah, if I'm flying a stealth bomber, I don't want the enemy to sort of be able to see me. Like, it's like I want stealth.
Now
stealth.
You see me. Now you kind of don't. Like, I don't know.
Stealth is stealth.
Yeah.
I think we'll see once we get into the beta. Another thing. It'll be interesting. What else do we kind of learn? I think the spectator mode that we at this point we know it's going to be in there. They've pretty much all but announced it, saying how it's very basic in the beginning. I think that's super important for us, Rem and David. I don't know how much in the esports you've gotten lately, but when it comes to esports, a spectator mode is a must.
Yes.
I know you're excited about that, aren't you, Rem?
I did, but I didn't like the one that they showed us at the oh my gosh, during the Q&A, the one that they had there, I didn't like it. I felt like the map was too small in width wise. It was too small, and then it was too high, like height wise. And I'm really, really picky about this because of esports. I do watch a lot of esports. I am huge, I freaking love esports, right? So when it comes to like the way spectator modes and stuff like that work, this is like my, not area of expertise, but it's like my area of, I need it to be what I want it to be. Anyway, so I felt like the map was kind of not the right size. And then on
the
top
mini-map,
of that,
you mean, on the bottom
yes,
right? Yeah,
the
definitely.
mini-map. Yes,
Especially,
exactly.
and I think
It
it's
was
a
really
limitation
weird.
of the battleground they were in, because it's like half and half.
I don't care. The way they had it laid out, like on the UI, because they had the little, I don't even know a word for it. The embellishments, I guess, on the UI. I don't know. It was just wonky. It was way wonky. I didn't like it. And then on top of that, let's see what else, because this was the part that I paid the most attention to. When the map was over, I know this is like really, or when the match was over, excuse me, and this is like really minute kind of detail, but there was nothing that popped up. There was no like victory or defeat or, you know what I mean? Like nothing at all. It just like was just the screen when the match was over and nothing. Granted, I know that there obviously still working on this stuff, but I don't know. There was just so much about that spectator mode that I was sitting there watching, like, oh my gosh, please don't make this the spectator mode that we get with this game. I know I sound really entitled right now. I apologize, but I just didn't like it. I hope they fix it. Please fix it, Blizzard.
David, what do you think of the spectator mode?
Again, I'm not as into esports as you guys are. I think the key thing, I'm glad that they've already got a spectator mode at all. If you look at Hearthstone, there's already a lot of streaming, a lot of tournaments going on for Hearthstone, and there isn't even a spectator mode as of yet. And listening to the guys over at the Angry Chicken, they were talking about how difficult it is for them to be able to stream anything because of that. So I'm glad that we've already got that in the game. The key thing is making it a good game, though. As you saw with Hearthstone, if it's a good enough game and it's compelling enough, people will watch it regardless. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad that we're already a step ahead of that game when it comes to Heroes.
Mm-hmm. And the spectator mode, to me, just pointed out how I still feel the battlegrounds are too small, and that they just need to enlarge the battleground so there's more room to maneuver, more room in general in the fight.
I don't know. I'm going to disagree with you. If they made the battlegrounds bigger, I think the matches would take longer. I think what brings into the whole short matches super fast is because battlegrounds are relatively small. If you make them bigger, we have to travel more. There's going to be more distance in between you and the end goal, and making them bigger is just going to make the match last longer.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think it makes a very valid point with it, making them last longer. But I find it very cluttered, and it seems like if you're in the bottom lane and you need to get to the top lane, it's so quick to get from one to the other that it almost doesn't matter which one you're in terms of helping out your teammates. So I don't know. I mean, this will be something when we play, and we'll really be able to see what kind of happens.
Yeah, I know we kind of touch on this almost every episode about the length of the game, but I know we've never really addressed it. Like, is it possible that these games could end up being too fast? Like, really fast? Because of the size of the map.
Only if you're on, like, a super-duper team that is, like, the A team on top of stuff,
Okay.
Like, we're like, bam, 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 done, we won.
Yeah, and you're playing a team not as good as you.
Yeah. So
well, isn't that possible quite a bit, though?
It is possible. Yeah, it depends on how they... and again, it depends on how they work out, like, the MMR and stuff like that, because I know when Hearthstone first came out, the MMR sucked, and it's getting a lot better now. So it just depends on, how all the matchmaking is going to work, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. So one thing that they talked about that was completely non-game based were the hero interactions and how they're officially going to be in there. David is kind of a lore and like kind of flavor person when it comes to the game. What do you think that's? I mean, I love it. I love the interactions. Are there any specific interactions that you want to see happen?
Well, I mean, there's the I'll get to that in a second. I think it's really good that they're talking about that, because I think that's so much of the flavor of the game, right? Is that you're seeing these heroes interact. You're playing WoW. You don't get to see Uther interact so much with Arthas, and I'm glad that there's going to be a little back and forth between characters like that. And I hope that it's not really limited either. Like, I hope it's not just when Uther kills Arthas, he says some action movie cop buddy line or something like that. I hope it does change if they're on the same team, that type of thing. What the funny thing that I got out of it more than anything else was something that they didn't touch on, which is that the interactions I really want to see are not lore interactions. I don't want to see Arthas. I mean, I do want to see it, but it's not a big deal to me to see Arthas talking to Uther. I want to see Arthas talking to Kerrigan. I want to see Arthas, I want to see little... to me, that's what this game's all about, is seeing the StarCraft heroes, interacting with the Warcraft, interacting with the Diablo heroes. And I think if they just keep those interactions sort of within their own little universes, I think they're missing a big opportunity, because that's what I really want to see, is Raynor making some smart alecky remark to Tyrande or something like that. I think there's a lot of... I think that would add a lot of flavor to the game, and it would add something very unique that you don't get in those other universes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree. I mean, that was a big point I would have made, as well as the interaction between just different characters that might not come across each other because they're in different franchises altogether. So, Rem, do you have anything kind of to add to that point?
Yeah, I was gonna say, wouldn't it be cool if they took it a step further and let's say, for example, because the first one that comes to my mind is Uther in the medic suit, right? So let's say you have Uther with the medic skin, which is from StarCraft, and he either has Raynor on his team or he's up against Raynor, and Raynor's like, "Hey, where'd you get that?" or something like that. You know what I mean? Because it's not something that Uther would typically wear. I don't know. I just think like little stuff like that would be pretty cool, in my opinion. So
Like,
yeah, I agree.
wouldn't it be awesome somewhere down the line where you got like Diablo and Kill Jaden arguing over who's more evil or something like that? I think it would just be like that. That's the type of flavor I would absolutely love to see in the game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. I'm going to say, I'm trying to think of like some very specific ones I would like to see. I would like to see like really any like good guy in Raynor kind of just chit-chatting about, what they're up to, because when you look at StarCraft, there are a lot of bad guys, I feel like, and very few good guys. So it'd be interesting because Raynor's like the hero of StarCraft almost, to see him talk with like Uther, eventually like Varian, stuff like that will be fun to see.
Please don't make Varian a hero.
It's going to happen. It has to happen.
No, it doesn't have to happen.
Yes, it does. He'll be the, do they have, I guess, yeah, Uther. Do they have any human champions? I'm like, yeah, Uther.
Uther.
Oh, man. Now, we also got the live gameplay with Dustin Browder and Day 9 commentating. One thing, I mean, you kind of saw a lot of the same, I feel like. We saw this battleground they did, the Haunted Mines, back during BlizzCon. But I thought it was interesting that they finally like showed off a storm power, because they had talked about them, and they really haven't shown any. And it was kind of the auto-res storm power. So, and we can expect the storm powers to be somewhere around there in terms of strength. Now that we know that auto-res will be one of them, is there either of you guys have an idea of what else we might see for storm powers? Or it's kind of tough to, I guess, throw this question on you. But
I mean, you probably see some giant AoE damage. I would imagine something like that, like a real, like Starfall certainly impressed me in that. From, I think it was Tyrande, right, who was dropping that?
Yep.
I mean, I would imagine something that's a larger version of that to bring the other team down. Because, again, the auto-res is great, but I would think that the storm powers are something that you'd really want to try and end the game quickly rather than prolong it.
Yeah. The Starfall looked, like, overpowered, especially for, like, a support character. It seemed like she was doing a lot of damage. It was kind of like Soroka in League of Legends. She does like a Starfall type ability, and when you get up there, it can deal a lot of damage. And sometimes I'm like, is it maybe too much for a support character to be able to do that much AoE damage, especially to like minions, like just clearing the minion wave back. So I think we're gonna see some, nerfing of how strong that ability is by the time it goes into beta.
It felt a little Vygar to me, actually, looking at it from from League of Legends, which is, I mean, I don't know a lot of the champions on League of Legends, but that's something that made me think of that champion a little bit when I saw that.
Mm-hmm. Rem, anything that really stuck out to you during the live cast?
No, because I was too busy fretting over all of the things I didn't like about the spectator mode. But yeah, it's interesting. I am interested to see where they go with the storm power stuff. I don't really have much input on that. Spectator mode bothered me too much.
Well, then we're going to go ahead and move on to our hero spotlight this week. We'll have more information from the Q&A. There was definitely more out there. I think a couple listens will pull out a little more information kind of to talk later on. Yeah. But we're going to get moving on.
This is the Hero Spotlight.
And this week, our Hero Spotlight is centered around the abomination Stitches. David, what's he all about?
Yeah, who's Stitches? Well, there's a little bit of all of us in Stitches, kind of literally. He's an abomination, and basically the interesting thing about Stitches is, I created him. and Rem probably created him, and Adam probably created him, and a bunch of people in our chat room probably created him. A lot of people listening probably created him. He's a kind of a monster. Basically, when you're in a quest line in World of Warcraft, and you meet this kindly old gentleman out in the country, and he basically tells you to go gather all this revolting material, ogre parts and ghoul juice or zombie juice and ghoul blood and things like that, and you can bring it back to him, and you think you're helping him out, and really he creates this disgusting abomination called Stitches. There's a bit of a pun there because he's an embalmer named Abercrombie, so it's Abercrombie and Stitches. It's actually kind of a cool story because you find out that he had tried to save his wife who died, and put his heart into the wife, but it turned her into a flesh-eating zombie, so he had to bury her for all time. So it's kind of horrific but cool. You end up having to help the town bring down Stitches, but he lives again now in Heroes of the Storm.
Mm-hmm. I remember in Vanilla when I was playing my Night Elf Druid, my first character, and going into, was it Darkwood? Right? Is it called
Duskwood?
Duskwood, yeah.
Yeah, Duskwood. Yeah. And you're doing the quest, and you're like, oh, I'm helping this guy out. You feel like you're doing good. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, there's a giant abomination on the way that you helped, so go destroy it. And then right there, compared to other MMOs, that was where it really hit me, that it was like, wow, I am making a difference in this world. Maybe not the best difference, but I am making a difference.
Well, it's that classic World of Warcraft, everything would have been fine if you didn't show up.
Yep. And their classic sense of humor as well, with the Abercrombie and Stitches part, they kind of take the pop culture and kind of mix it in really well.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. So, Rem.
Now, wait, wasn't Stitches in Warcraft 3? Wasn't he?
Don't think so. I think he's introduced in WoW.
Yeah?
It might be another abomination.
Yeah. I think
there were A-bombs in, almost all the games. I didn't play much of Warcraft 1, but I remember... I don't know. I'm bad at this. I'm bad at the lore stuff, so...
Yeah, he's not as revolting as, Festergut or anything like that, like those really, really bad ones. But I think he's pretty much tied to that specific quest line.
Yeah, because you created him there, and... that's after. But you definitely have the classic abominations all over. I mean, you have, bosses in, IC... Is it IC? No, Naxxramas. Those abominations. So you see that pretty often.
Yeah.
So not all abominations look alike,
but they tend to have the same model.
It's true.
It's true. Maybe they do all look alike.
Same mesh, different skins. It happens.
Mm-hmm. So he's a hero type, and Rem... What is his first ability?
He has a really cool hook ability. I'm sure you've seen it if you've watched any of the matches that they have out there for your viewing pleasure. But Stitches throws out a hook with his arm, and it goes with his arm. Anyways, it will pull the target towards him, and I think you get stunned. You can stun the enemy using the hook.
Yes,
it's
stuns
really cool.
them on the way in type of a thing.
Yes, it's really cool.
Very, very Death Knight-y.
Yeah. What is that Death Knight ability?
Gorfiend's Grasp?
Grasp. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's kind of like that. Pshoo!
He's also got Slam. Basically, Stitches does damage in a cone in front of him. Can't talk too much about that because it sounds like a pretty straightforward, boring ability. But I'm sure it's going to come useful in game.
Yeah, and then like all creepy undead things can do, he can eat you and get health back with an ability called Devour, where you have to be in melee range to have this happen to you. But he's going to eat you and heal himself.
Mm-hmm. And I can see that being worked in with kind of hook him, you slam him, and you devour him, kind of all kind of rolled in together.
Yep.
You're going to see, like always, the two different hero abilities. You're going to have the Putrid Bile, which is kind of like just a passive ability. So as he walks around, he spreads goop along the battlefield, which damages and slows his enemies. So he's going to be, if you choose that one, it's going to be really hard to kind of get caught up to him and kind of finish him off if you need to. And then spawn Retchlings. He'll be able to summon 2 Retchlings that will attack enemies and slowing them. So it really looks like they're really pushing the kind of warrior where he can fight, but at the same time he has some utility to him with the hook and the slows and all that kind of built into his kit.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's, the hook really reminds me of in League of Legends of, Xantar's favorite, was it Thresh?
Oh, yeah,
Where he kinda
Thresh.
hooks him
Screw
and
that guy.
pulls him in. Yeah, you don't like him?
I don't like
I
Thresh.
was going to say Blitzcrank does that too, so.
Does he?
Yeah, he
I've
hooks you
not
in.
really seen much of
pulls you in.
Blitzcrank in matches lately.
Yeah, so I feel like he'll be able to do that kind of warrior role, but I think he'll be able to do like a secondary support type where he like he's pulling people in and helping out in those respects, trying to help people get the kills, not necessarily get the kills himself.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like a
it's
massive CC'er type guy.
Yeah, it's like depending on how you build them, you could go either way. Just like we were talking about earlier, you could build a support who can deal damage. Here, it looks like you'll be able to build a warrior who can do support type things.
Yeah. I see him being very annoying and don't get it within hook range.
Yeah. It's also one thing
It's-
that I've noticed is they tend to like him. I think he's been in pretty much every single kind of
He's very
matchup that
popular.
we've seen.
I think he's really popular just because he seems like very straightforward, but not like basic, noob easy, I guess, but like just a well balanced champion and easy to grasp the play style, and also very powerful. So.
And your favorite part. It seems like they've had tons of Stitch skins that they were showing off at BlizzCon. I could not believe it.
Right? Yeah. They had oh my gosh. Hang on. Let me look them up. But there was, because I want to link in the chat room. There's a really cool one.
Well, real quick, while you're looking up, I remember my favorite was the Jason skin. So he had the hockey mask on, and I was like, that'll be a fun one to play, just because I'm a big Jason, Freddy Krueger type fan. The kind of that classic horror. So that was very cool to see. They had the Marine one where he just had pieces of Marine armor all over him.
Yeah, I think the Marine one is the best one.
Yeah.
In my opinion, of course. I'm going to link them to Jason one.
I'm still I'm holding out. I mentioned on a previous episode, I want the Rob Ford one, the Rob Ford skin for Stitches. Now I know I don't want Blizzard to get into trouble, so I know you can't call it that. You'd be like the Malevolent Mayor or something like that. But that's the one I'm holding out for skin wise.
Mm-hmm. And they had the chef one that they played in the last game.
Yeah.
So right now it seems like, I swear, Stitches has the most skins available. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Which is appropriate because he has the most skins on his body.
I see what you did there. I can't find the Marine one.
You can't find the Marine one?
I can't. Cannot find it.
They're all. I'll link it in the chat.
Google Images is dumb. So,
Yeah. So is
I'm
there?
also kind of blinded by my studio lights.
Were there any kind of other things you wanted to add about Stitches that maybe you saw in the the gameplay, or that maybe you're hoping to see in terms of skins?
I think if they made and we kind of already talked about it that week when we talked about oh my gosh.
The classic monsters?
Yes, classic movie monsters. Thank you. So I think that Stitches would make the perfect Frankenstein. But we've already discussed that. I know. But Frankenstein Stitches skin, I mean, he kind of already is Frankenstein, but if they actually styled him like your typical Frankenstein with the black flat top and the bolts and stuff, I think that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Wouldn't he be a great Santa?
Oh my gosh, he would be an epic Santa. Yes.
I don't know, and gifts are coming out of his gut.
Well, no, I mean, just throw a Santa hat on him and a really jacked up Santa suit and turn the big cleaver into
A sack.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that would
Keep it
work
a
for for fighting animation. No, it can't just keep it a cleaver. I don't know, make it made out of coal though. A coal made cleaver. That would be so awesome. This needs to happen right now.
And he spawns reindeer?
Yes!
Reindeer instead of wretches.
Putrid reindeer, though.
But what is his hook still a hook, or is it like it's a candy cane? I guess.
Oh yes, a candy cane. See, now you guys are thinking. Right.
Rem's like all excited. She's like, they're working with me on this one. They're not making fun of it. I'm so excited.
Is it Christmas time yet? Yeah, you guys usually shoot down all of my skin ideas, so I'm doubly excited.
Doubly excited. Well, I think we've kind of exhausted Stitch's skins at this point. Let's go ahead and move into our new hero segment.
Heroes here, no heroes needed here, no heroes wanted.
This week we're going to give some tips to those that are playing in the jungle. Now, when Heroes of the Storm comes out, more than likely, unless we get a different map that's very MOBA generic, we're not going to really have the jungler. But I really wanted to hit this point for anyone who is playing League of Legends now that kind of want to try out all the different roles, just in case there's a time when we're going to be able to do that in Heroes of the Storm. I think one of the primary tips that I can kind of give people is to make sure you pick Smite as a summoner spell. What Smite does is it actually just does damage, and usually a lot of damage, but only to neutral minions. You can't use it against other champions. When I first started jungling, I didn't have it, and I got made fun of a lot for it.
Adam, you're supposed to let us say, "Hey, Adam, what does Smite do?" You should I was so ready to. And
I'll do a better job at that, I promise.
So,
Okay. All right.
we're letting them see how the sausage is made, guys.
Yes. Sorry. The second tip then is I would make sure to ask your teammates to leash.
Hey, Adam, what is leashing?
Sounds kinky.
Well, basically what leashing is right off the bat you have to, you're going after the neutral minions, and it's when your allies come and help you. So you just have to make it say, hey, does anyone want to give me a hand? So that way you can kill them faster, and so you take as little amount of damage at the very beginning of the match as possible, considering you're not going to really have all that much time to kind of go back and heal. So, next is to know your root.
Hey, Adam, what's your root? No, that doesn't work,
No.
does it?
What's a root?
What's a root?
Basically it just means know which neutral mobs you want to go to in what order. Because you don't want to be going in there and be like, oh, I can attack this group, then I can attack this group, and then that group, and then I'll be good to level or go head back then. If you're just kind of out there randomly jumping around, you could miss important either buffs or XP and gold, and just kind of waste your time a little bit, if that makes sense. Does it make sense, David?
Makes sense to me.
I think of all the... Are you shaking your head at me, Rim?
No, I'm sorry. Continue.
We're beginning to sound like an infomercial.
Of all the roles in the game, the big tip is just you need to be aware of the map, because you're kind of in charge of helping out the lanes that need it. If the bottom lane, even though there's 2-on-2, they're falling behind, you need to be there ready to gank. Top lane, mid lane, so you need to be the most map aware of the team. Otherwise, your team's going to fall behind, and you can kind of make up for that by being kind of all around. So here's a kind of advanced tip that I figured I'd throw in there, because it's something that you'll kind of want to do right away, because I think it's a lot of fun, and that's counter jungling. All that means is rather than killing the monsters on your side, you're going to the other side of the map to kill their monsters, either just so that way they can't do it, or to steal the buffs off of the lizard or the golem. And a kind of a hint to go with that is you can, if you kill the golem and you leave the two side monsters that are with them, they won't respawn until they kill the two side monsters, so it kind of really delays their ability to pull that up. So I'd make sure to do that. Do you guys think that makes sense for tips? I know it was kind of me rambling a little bit, but I know you guys really haven't had a lot of chance to play that role.
No, it was great. Yeah. No, thanks. I haven't jungled at all. I'm still pretty new to LOL. Mm-hmm. So I've really been letting other people do it. But yeah, it really does give a good breakdown in terms of what your roles and responsibilities are.
Mm-hmm. And next week when we kind of get back with the hero tips, we'll have Xantar, hopefully, because he's been playing a lot of top lane, kind of the bruisers, the more melee focused, kind of like Stitchers will be. and he'll have a lot better tips than I can, especially.
Oh my
regarding that.
gosh, can we stop calling them tips? Can we call it something else, please? I cannot contain it. I'm trying so very hard. That was terrible. Just stop.
So should we call them like tricks then? We're pulling
Tricks. That there's nothing.
No,
there's
that's
nothing
even
sexual about the word
worse.
tricks.
Yes, there is.
Well, to
I'm so sorry. I'm ruining this. I apologize.
50 Shades of Jungling.
50 Shades of Rem. All right.
so to move on from our tips for the week.
No, stop it!
This segment of soon, I swear to God, I'm going to have a sounder for this because we're going to do it every week, and I need to get Rem as part of the sounder because her favorite part is where we just talk about skins. We kind of have a
Yay,
theme,
skins.
and we talk about that. So Rem, this week, our skin theme is going to be superhero. What
Superhero.
What heroes in Heroes of the Storm do you want to be superheroes?
I don't know. I feel like this delves into the area of copyrighted content. But I mean, Uther is No, I can't believe I was about to say that. Uther as Batman would be totally badass, and I would buy that. Blizzard, shut up and take my money if you make Uther Batman Uther. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Although I know that would never work. You know who would totally work as Batman, though? I think Gazlo. Now, stay with me on this one. Gazlo would work as Batman because Batman, we all know, loves his toys. Wow, that's a really bad innuendo.
More tips.
More tips. Batman loves his gadgets. There we go. That's a better way of putting it. And Gazlo is a goblin, correct? Right? And goblins are famous for gadgets and stuff. I think that would work, but I'd rather see Uther dressed as Batman. That'd be totally awesome.
It's funny because that you pointed out Batman because I was gonna point out somebody as Batman too, but neither of the ones you said. Jim Raynor.
No, come on, really?
He
No,
is the dark, brooding hero,
he's more like a daredevil to me.
but he's not blind.
I don't care that he's not blind. I meant personality-wise, he's more like Daredevil.
I don't know. I
Or
think
Punisher.
Punisher, no, because
Yeah.
I don't think he'd kill just about anybody that does bad.
No, but still,
But still,
it's better than Batman.
no, I think he fits it really well, in my opinion. David, if you, it's your turn to kind of come up with one, and I'll think of another one that's not Batman.
I didn't originally see it on the show notes, so I'm kind of winging it right now. I would say for Stitches, Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four, just because of that chain ability. You could stretch out your arm and bring him towards you. Mm-hmm. The other, just because kind of it looks like the model, would be Dr. Octopus Kerrigan. I'd like to just have the arms sticking out of her back.
I would buy that. I would buy
sexy Dr. Octopus.
Yes, I would
Doc
buy
Ock.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I would buy that.
You could have a female skin of Malfurion, where he's Poison Ivy.
Oh my gosh, that would be totally badass.
That would be fun. I'm all of a sudden, a bunch of them start to jump in my head.
Stitches could do Thing.
Thing. He
right?
could be the
Thing.
Blob from X-Men.
Yeah.
Just because he's got a cape, I'd like to see Doctor Doom, Lich King.
That I like. Because he has the mask that really fits. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a really good one. Wow, I don't know if I can.
I like how we went into villains though. We're naming a whole bunch of super villains. What happened to superheroes?
I always cheered for the supervillains back. It was a good decade for when I was reading comics for supervillains. So
here
Right.
we have a question from the chat room. Who would either be the Joker or the Riddler?
Ooh, the Joker. Trying to think. You need someone kind of skinny.
You need someone skinny.
I know.
Someone who just wants to see the world burn.
I could see Illidan doing. I mean, he's already a villain. Joker and Riddler are villains. He's kind of skinny-ish-esque.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's all. I don't know if they did old-fashioned Illidan, not demon crazy Illidan. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Could do him. They could totally Riddler him up.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that because it's I wouldn't see him as the Joker, but the Riddler because he's really kind of thinks through his crimes a lot. I
Yeah,
guess. A little more
yeah.
thoughtful. He's not just chaotic, crazy. I mean,
Yeah, you need someone really maniacal to be the Joker. Like, yeah, and it would be so. I don't think it's someone in the 18
game,
that are
yeah.
out right now.
right. I would say it's like a Twilight cultist. Like, I can't think of any of the major ones other than Cho'Gall. Oh, Benedictus. You know, but like evil Benedictus.
maybe. Hey, Deathwing. Deathwing uniform.
He had a big clown face on him.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
like
what if
Mr.
Deathwing
Dr.
was-
Prester or whatever his name is, Lord Prester.
Oh, what if Deathwing was a hero in Heroes of the Storm? Is that going to happen? That should happen.
We're gonna see
that
him,
needs to
Alex
happen.
Straza, a bunch of them.
That I don't care about the rest of the dragons. I just want Deathwing to be a hero in Heroes of the. Oh, I take that back. Actually, I would totally play the crap out of Chromie. I think Chromie would
Chromie.
be an awesome hero to have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the
Not
sad-
in their human forms. I'm talking in their dragon forms.
You know what the
That-
sad part is? Deathwing would have more characterization in Heroes of the Storm than he got in Cataclysm.
Ha! That was a sick burn.
And then I think we already talked about this one too. For Thor would be Falstad. I mean, you already got the hammer. He's already
Oh.
using the lightning.
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
that would work. That would
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
And
Didn't
then
mention
because he
Iron
could
Man.
because he could fly, he wouldn't need a mount for once. You get one mountless version of him.
You know who would what's her face be? What's her face? The chick from StarCraft. Why do I always forget her stupid name? Nova.
Nova?
Who
Black
would
Widow?
she be?
Black Widow.
You guys are naming villains constantly.
No, Black Widow is not a villain.
Jesus,
Oh, is
She's
she?
an Avenger.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Avengers?
yeah. Okay, my bad.
Oh.
My bad.
Is
Nerd cred
the
love.
Hulk as Stitches too easy?
Stitches can any big like hero. I mean superhero. Stitches could fall into.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I just thought of one. If they did Kerrigan prior to being all creepy lady skin, right? Just a regular Sarah Kerrigan skin. I don't care what you guys say. It's not going to be a Nova skin. It's going to be a Kerrigan skin.
Okay.
With red hair. If they did that, they could do a, what is her name? Peter Parker, Mary Jane. Mary Jane. They
Watson?
should do a Mary Jane Watson. Yes. They should do a Mary Jane Watson Kerrigan skin. Yes.
So you have to spend the whole game saving her from the other heroes.
Oh, that's terrible.
And she's always like, "You just hit the jackpot, Tiger," when she kills somebody.
No, see, you should have saved that joke for Princess Peach. Like, if there was a Princess Peach skin, then you'd be spending the
No,
whole.
because that's what Mary Jane says to Peter Parker the first time they meet. That's super important. No,
Super important.
it's super important to know that.
If they come out with a Murloc, he can be Aquaman.
But they have Mercablo. Oh,
Oh, there you go.
there should be a Murloc hero though. Are there any like actually named Murlocs in the lore? Like lore,
Oh,
like
sure.
particularly important Murlocs.
I don't think there's any super important ones, but I know that they got to have named a couple of them here and there. There's
Yeah,
that
I mean,
one
I know
that
there's all
there
pet
wasn't there one
ones.
that you like worked with that like that was kind of half good guy in I want to say Northrend.
I don't know. I don't quest that much.
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Chief Volgin in the chat room's asking who would Rathion be.
Oh, he could be the Joker.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think he wants to see the world burn, and he's just hiding it really well.
You think he's hiding it very well?
I think
I'm picturing someone short with a big head. The leader.
The leader?
He's kind of obscure. It's a Hulk villain.
Oh,
Big head.
you're like short with a big head, and I'm like, the only thing I could think of was from Oa, Green Lantern, the Guardians.
Oh, those
Oh.
guys. Yeah, yeah.
They kind of sit there.
I thought you were going to
Lantern.
say Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds as Raytheon.
Ryan Reynolds. Who would be the Green Lantern, though? I want to know this. This is.
Green
Oh, what
Lantern?
about Flash Gordon?
Zeratul.
Zeratul is the Green Lantern, really?
Yes.
Okay, explain your logic, please.
Zeratul's badass, and I love Green Lantern. So,
Because I said so.
yep. Green Arrow, you could do Tyrande or Sylvanas.
No, see, I think Sylvanas would make a good
Merlin. The
Wonder Woman. Yeah, that's her name, right?
Wonder Woman?
Oh,
Yes,
Chief
I said
Volgin
that.
wins.
Yes, Wonder
Gammon would be Green Lantern. He would be just like Kilowog.
All right.
We're really reaching for
I
this one.
think I think we're getting to the dregs of superheroes now.
I think so. All right.
Don't call
Sorry,
Kilowog the
sorry,
dregs.
Adam, not to diss the Green Lantern Corps.
Oh,
Well,
snap.
with
Shots
that, I
fired.
think we've hit our time for the week. I think I love this segment. We have so much fun talking about this.
I agree.
We really need you guys to start sending some in, so that way we can go with what you think for a theme. This one was actually brought to us by my wife because I'm like, I need a theme, and it's 5 minutes before showtime, and she's like, how about Marvel? And I'm like, how about I'll put superhero, and then we got craziness.
Perfect.
So we're gonna head out today. David, we wanted to let everyone know how they can get a hold of you.
Sure. I've got some articles up at blizmaster.com. As well, you can reach me on Twitter at BrillianCTR. That's 2 L's, 2 A's.
And if you need to see how it's spelled, you can just go ahead and watch the Q&A, and it was like question number 2 or 3.
Oh my God.
Oh, Adam, you didn't need to bring that up.
Rem, where can people get a hold of you?
You can find me managing all things blizmaster.com, writing articles there and doing lots of other stuff. If you want to talk to me on Twitter. I like Twitter and interacting with people on Twitter. You can follow me at Remedeezy, REMEDEEZY. And I help Ro do the podcast news on Realm Maintenance. And I'm also the host of the Blizmaster Show, which is the official podcast and videocast for blizmaster.com.
And for me, you can get a hold of me personally at Geek of Random on Twitter. You can also follow the show to see when we're going live, which is the same every week, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Friday nights. You can follow the show at the Nexus Podcast. Please email any questions and theme ideas to show@heroesofthenexus.com. Thank everyone who listens and watches, either on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Windows, all that place. It's so much fun to interact with you guys. Come visit our forums at heroesofnexus.com. We really don't have much going on, but eventually we might have some people. And like always, we're proud members of the Blizmaster Network. I love being able to say that. It's so much fun. So I just want to have everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you next week, hopefully with some more news, and maybe they'll give us some more insider stuff. So have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Oh my
Bye,
gosh, I
everybody.
cannot do that anymore.
Green Lantern.
Please,
sucks.
someone help me think of a way to say goodbye on the show. Jeez.
And you can stop.
Okay. Please cut that last little bit out, please.
I don't know. I think people are starting to like that.
No.
Our Chinese
I sound
followers
like the
demand it.
derp.
Yeah, we're big. We're big.
We're big in
overseas
China.
market.
Did I tell you that, Ram?
No.
Oh God, do we get Chinese downloads?
Really?
Like we're bigger in China than anywhere else in the world right now.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
cool. I like that.
Yeah, it is pretty. It's pretty funny. It's like at first I'm like, oh, it's some hack of a thing happening, but then it's like every week it's more and more. I'm like, yes, we will take over China.
Is it because they don't understand what we're saying?
I don't know.
Oh, no, I'm sure they do. In most foreign countries, especially very well-developed ones, like China and Japan and Korea, they actually learn English all through primary school, so...
Yeah. No, I know that.
Now, quick question for the chat room or Rem or anybody that uses iTunes. And have you guys seen the new episodes up on iTunes? Because I'm not.
No, I don't use iTunes for anything because I hate Apple. I can't believe you would ask me that question. Who are you? And what kind of friend are you? It's terrible.
Well, I know you didn't. I just hoping we might be able to look.
I don't look on
Yeah,
it.
'cause it's
I
not
can
showing
look,
up.
but I don't use iTunes.
I didn't see it show up. Unfortunately, I'm trying to figure out why.
Sorry, I was trying to see if there was something of nearby that I could check on iTunes, but there's.
Yeah, I looked again. It's not there. I don't know why, but we'll have last week's episode. As long as I was holding off on posting that it's up until I saw it up there. But so we have 2 episodes kind of waiting to go up. So I don't know if it's an issue with iTunes or not.
Yeah, I'm just launching it right now.
Yeah, and of course it takes a million years because Apple sucks. I'm sorry if anybody in the chat room is an Apple fan.
I'm not an Apple fan myself, so I take no offense to
Yeah,
that.
you're like a big Windows guy, right? Windows.
Yes.
I mean, like as far as like mobile
Phones.
platforms go.
Yeah, I like the Windows phones. They work really well for what I need them to do. So I want to thank everybody who came to the show, especially. Well, I don't want to say especially, but I want to thank the pit crew.
Yeah.
And
especially just these people.
Well, no, I was going to say
the rest
especially.
of you.
I was going to say especially the new people who haven't come yet. But then I felt like I was going to be leaving out my dubbed pit crew. I'm very happy everyone comes, but it was cool to see some new people, a little more chatting going on. It's awesome. I think the more that we hear from Blizzard, the more we're going to get people in here to kind of interact with us. I love pulling stuff out of the chat room and talking about it because it's just fun.
Yeah, it's great seeing all the new faces. It's fantastic. And unlike Blizzard, we won't be arbitrarily banning any of you.
Yes. On the armaments of evil. I just read your comment, Rem, about Uther shall never don the armaments of evil.
Yes.
Man, I still want to. Then right, that just really makes me want to see a evil Uther skin.
No.
I can't help it. At first,
Do
I never
not
thought of that until you said it.
By Uther.
Soil.
No, but Adam, what it is, you don't want to see an evil one. You want to see kind of a tore up older one, like he's down on his luck Uther,
What is wrong with
like
you
he's
guys?
like a hobo Uther.
like meth Uther, mether.
What are you doing? No.
No. You know what I want to see? I want to see a cow Uther, so it would be Moother.
Uther.
No, please.
I want to see Uther on hard times. Like he
No.
spent all the
Oh.
paladin money. He was embezzling the silver hand money to like cover his gambling debts.
This is not okay. This is so not okay. Someone please stop them. This is like, no, this is unacceptable.
Oh, man.
Unacceptable.
Breaking Bad, Lightbringers edition.
Oh man, hold on. I have the perfect Uther. Okay, so I'm gonna link this in chat real quick. And Rem, click on this, and don't tell me you wouldn't love to see Uther like this. Hold on one second. This isn't even me like picking on you. Like this is legit, like super legit. If I can find it. There we go. Oh, that's not the one I want. So this is. Have you guys seen Thor?
The
No.
new one?
Any Thor, like the movies? No.
No.
I've seen them both, but
Okay.
I can't see the link. Yeah.
So Uther as Heimdall,
Okay. That'd be cool.
and that's
Idris Elba. Yeah.
like look at that armor. It's
Yeah.
all
Very cool. You'd like this, Rem.
Hang on one second.
like it could
I
be.
am not good at multitasking, despite how much I say that I am. Okay.
Uther the Pie Bringer.
This page may contain spoilers about unreleased or newly released stories. Oh, it's about stuff I don't care about. So, okay. Are you absolutely sure? Yes, I'm sure. What am I looking at? Sorry.
Just the picture.
Of some dude. Who is this?
It's
What is this?
Heimdall. He's the gatekeeper of Asgard.
Oh, okay. All right, okay.
I think
And where are we going with that?
I was saying that'd be
I'm
an
so
awesome
sorry.
Uther skin if they did like a whole Norse thing. You'd have Heimdall.
Right,
You
yeah.
could have Thor.
See, I was thinking we should do a mythology themed theme thing. I'm terrible at this. But could you imagine like Aphrodite Kerrigan? Because that would be really hilarious, actually, now that I think about it.
Aphrodite Kerrigan.
Man.
Yes, an Aphrodite
okay.
Kerrigan. That's
Just the
what I
tip.
said.
Chief Vulcan wins. He won the internet.
Oh, just the tip. All right.
Gee.
But yeah, that's we should put that on our list,
Row.
and we get to bring up Falstad as Thor again. Because that will keep it.
Because again, it's mythology. So Thor, yeah, we gotta everything has to go back to Thor.
Somehow we get Thor mixed in as everyone. Isn't there Falstad in Thor?
Probably, I would imagine.
Probably.
There's a
Sounds about
Volstagg.
right.
Volstagg, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Warriors
Volstagg's
3.
the guy from Rome. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hey, so I've been watching this TV show, and I want to know if you guys have ever seen it or watched it. Have you ever seen a show called Fringe?
Yes.
Heard of it.
I've started
It's
watching
freaking
it.
awesome.
Yes.
We still got to get you into Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah, I need to watch that show.
My wife has been watching all the older Doctors.
Okay, I don't get it. What does that mean? The older doctors and then the new doctor? Like, what is...
Well, the old
is
doctor,
there
as
like
in,
a
like...
really old show?
Yeah, 50 years
Yeah, it's from
ago.
1963.
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
My wife is watching, like,
That's not
Tom Baker, who... Was he the 4th or 5th Doctor?
I'm not
So,
watching that.
so Rem, are you like my wife, where you won't watch stuff in black and white?
No, I don't know. Like, some really old stuff I can watch. Like, well, and it's not even that old, but I love the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've
Oh, yeah.
probably seen it like 100 times. It's not even that old. I get it, yeah. And then, let's see. There was a movie that recently got remade. Well, not recently, but I guess it was when I was in high school. But it was remade from a movie from like the 70s. I just can't remember what it was. And I thought the original was pretty good. I've also seen the original. Wow, I'm drawing blanks. I'm bad at this, guys. I'm bad at remembering actors' names and movies' names and stuff. I'm really bad at this. I apologize.
I guess that's why
There's a movie
it's,
about Perseus.
Clash of the Titans.
Yes,
Clash of the
and there's a
Titans.
very
Oh.
old one that is freaking amazing.
Mhm.
Really good.
I
I've
saw.
seen
Hey,
that.
I saw the very old one when I was like 10.
Okay,
I remember
saw it
that
when I was a
'cause-
kid too, but
Yeah, I remember seeing that because I was given the choice between that or another movie that was out at the same time called Raiders of the Lost Ark.
yeah,
And I was like, I don't know about this Ark thing. I'm gonna go see Clash of the Titans.
Did you, have you ever do you guys watch Big Bang Theory by any chance?
I've
Mhm.
seen it bits and pieces.
Well, there's an episode where one of the characters' girlfriends completely ruins Raiders of the Lost Ark for the entire world.
Oh yeah. I've heard that theory. Yeah.
That everything would have turned out the same way even if Indiana Jones had not been around.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
And then you're like, wow. But, the argument they didn't make to it was if Indiana Jones wasn't around, you wouldn't be watching the movie because that you're in kind of his feet, you know? You're in his shoes during the whole thing.
Yeah, really. Although, you know what? In honor of Rem, I think one of our make up your own skins thing should be Rocky Horror.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I think that would
love
be great.
that. I would love that. In fact, I would be thinking about that all week long. But we should do mythology first.
Yeah.
My vote.
Well,
is
we'll
for
do mythology next week, unless we get a listener to say, hey, we want this one. Because listeners come first.
Yeah.
You heard that,
if
chat room?
listeners email us an idea, that would be cool.
So,
I want to choose Janet for Rocky Horror.
see, it's been so long since I've watched Rocky
Who
Horror.
would be Janet though?
It's my obsession with kind of actresses of a certain age.
Tim Curry. What's the name
We're
of the
going from
character that
Sigourney
Tim
Weaver
Curry
to
plays?
Susan
We're
Sarandon.
taking a trip down David's childhood crushes. That's what it is. I don't blame you. I have a mad fat crush on Ewan McGregor, and I'll watch anything that he's in.
Train
so.
Spotting, right?
What?
Isn't that his best movie of all time?
What movie?
Train Spotting?
Train Spotting?
No, that is not the best movie he
Big
was ever
Fish.
in.
Big Fish.
Oh, I like
Big
Big
Fish.
Fish.
Thank you
Big
so
Fish is
much.
great.
I forgot about it.
Big Fish is the best Ewan McGregor movie ever in the whole wide world. And I'll
Nice
tell you
one.
why. I will tell you why right now, because my favorite flowers, for realsies, actually are daffodils. And in that movie, Ewan
Aw.
McGregor plants a field full of daffodils for his love interest. I'm not spoiling anything. It's not like a huge story spoiler if you haven't seen it. But see Big Fish for the large field of daffodils. And while you're watching it, you're thinking of me. That's right, because Rem loves daffodils.
The reason I
Enough
like Big Fish is because it reminds me so much of my father. Where he tells these crazy stories, but they all have enough truth to them that when someone else either you meet somebody who is a part of it, or if you see something, it's wow, that wasn't completely a lie.
Yeah.
That movie is one of those like make guys cry movies.
Oh, I know.
Like it's like Field of Dreams. Like it's just like those any of the ones with the dad at the end. Just like no, I got allergies.
No, I got something in my eye.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I love that.
Love
I've
it.
been watching this movie so hard that my eye strained and started sweating. Oh man. Well, I think we're gonna take off. It's starting to get pretty late. I want to thank everybody again for coming out. We'll see you guys next week. Come on, Rem, say it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
No. I love you all. Bye, everybody.
Ren made me cry about Big Fish. I'm sorry.
Well, peace out.
Bye.